So you have to say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Say welcome to episode 21.
Welcome to episode 21.
Say this is a knitting and designing podcast. This is a knitting and designing podcast.
This is a knitting and designing podcast.
From the northeast of England.
From the northeast of England.
Don't bash the bag. Oh, it's not you. From the northeast of England. My name is Rowan.
My name is Rowan.
And this is Roro and
Kids.
There you go. You go now. Are you going out to play or are you going to colour in?
Colour in and then out to play.
Right. Shut this door then, because I need to talk to the camera now. And have a yappy dog. Oh, look, the dog wants to go out and everything. So hello, my name is Kelly, also known as Roro and Kids. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry and a couple of other places around the internet. This is a knitting and designing podcast from the northeast of England. Welcome back if you are returning. There is a few new people here, so welcome to you too. It is a little bit hectic today. It is currently the Easter holidays at school. Sorry about my cat making lots of noise. It's the Easter holidays at school. So the kids are off for 2 weeks. We're on the final week, but I wanted to try and get this done. Hence the little cameo there. Will you shut up? My kitten is currently 4 months old, Lene, and is desperate to go outside, but he's too little to go outside. So he's constantly yowling at the back door, so I do apologise. And now he's playing with a shoe. Anyway, this is episode 21. I need a drink already. I'm going to attempt to do this today because it needs to be done. But it could be very choppy with lots of interruptions. We'll just see how things go. So without further ado, let's get the finished object shown. So my first and only finished object today is my socks for Terry. So these were done in the silly sock yarn that I had from Hobbii. They'd asked me to try it out and I got 3 different colours. And these ones were done in the Witty Joker colourway. It didn't match them up. He wanted them to be odd. Shut up, cat. He's very rude. I didn't match the colours up. I just started from where I'd ended with this one. So this was the first one. I ended there, then I started there and continued on. Yeah. And he absolutely loves them. He hasn't had them on yet because I told him he's not allowed until I've done the podcast. But they're really great. They were a 64 stitch cast on. That's not in there. A 64 stitch cast on 2.25mm needles. And it was just a plain, oh, everything's falling over. Just a plain vanilla sock. I didn't follow an actual pattern. I just cast on 64 stitches and did the stuff basically. But I absolutely love them. I'm gonna have to knit myself a pair. I have this much left over. It's quite a lot. I haven't actually weighed it, but there's quite a lot left. And I have another ball because I expected to need 2 balls for Terry's socks, and it turned out that he was a 64 stitch cast on, which shocked me. So yeah, those are done. It's so much fun to knit with. I really enjoyed it. I do have 2 other colours which are here, excuse rustling. I have Circus Princess and I have Gracious Voltage, which I really want to get cast on. I'm excited for both of them, but I'm more excited for this one just because Witty Joker was so much fun. It won't be just yet. I've got a lot of oh, stay put. I have a lot of projects that I need to get working on, including my Make 9. I've got completely stuck on my Make 9. Well, sort of stuck on my Make 9. But yes, that is my Witty Joker socks for Terry. What's the matter? Sorry. So, that's my only finished object for this week. My train of thought is going to be bad today because it's, yeah, I've got kitten yowling at me and child in and out. The other child is out, so he won't interrupt. He's 13 anyway, I'd slap him. I'm only joking. Right, I am only joking, honestly. Right, so my next lot is all works in progress. So that was Terry's socks. He's super happy. I definitely recommend the Silly Sock yarn, which is what it's called. Did I show you that? It is called Silly Socks by Hobbii. There's lots of different colours. I assume they're all self-striping. Yeah, but this is the Witty Joker, if you did want to do that. I feel like I'm going back on myself. Right, next up is another Hobbii request. I think I showed you the yarn the last time, the yellow yarn that was in the curry colourway. I'm sure I showed you that. So I do have, I did show you this, didn't I? So this is the rainbow sock wool in 4-ply. This is the curry colourway, which is the kind of yellow I like. I don't like lemony yellow, I like more ochre type yellow. I finished one of the socks, which if you follow me on Instagram you would have seen. It still hasn't been blocked yet. It was on a blocker when I showed it on Instagram, but it just borrowed the blocker because Terry's sock was actually blocking at the time. And I only have one. Well, I don't. I have other blockers, but they're a bit small. I like that one. So I tend to just use that one. So these have got no name yet, but this is a new design that I've done for Hobbii. Have asked for people to do let me start again. So basically, Hobbii do campaigns and they ask you to join in the campaign if you'd like to. This campaign was called Here Comes the Sun, and it was based around the colour yellow. So you just had to do something based around the colour yellow. Yellow is something that I'm a bit, I don't know, I like yellow, but it's not something I like to work with. I don't know why. I'm never drawn to yellow yarn or anything. So when they said it, I was like, but then I'd seen a little stitch pattern in one of my stitch bibles that I really wanted to try, and it would have been perfect in yellow. So I was like, do you know what? Yes, I'll do this campaign and I'm going to do this. So I had these socks in mind, so this is what I've done. So this will be a new design. It needs a name. The ends aren't weaved in or anything yet, but these are these little socks. So they're not exactly shorties. They're kind of like ankle socks. They're not mid-calf, they're just in the middle of a shorty and an ankle sock. No, shorty and a mid-calf sock. So they have this little flower on. So I do need to tidy this one up. It's a bit loose around the sides. and I think I'm going to do a few more stock and stitch rows before I get the rib. I think there's 4 at the minute. I'm going to do a couple more at least, just to make the distance from the top of the flower and the rib a little bit more prominent. But yeah, it's like, I don't know if you can see. Focus. No, it doesn't want to focus, does it? But it is like baubles and then little embossed leaves. It is knitted, it's not done after, it's knitted at the time. The pattern that was in the Stitch Bible that I wanted to use was really like fiddly at the start. I tried it a few times, but for a sock with such small needles, it was getting really tight and it was way too fiddly. And I didn't want to do that to you. So I faffed around with it a little bit and just rearranged it and got it to work in a different way that's not so fiddly. So yeah, so we've got these. So they're just vanilla. They are toe up. It doesn't work cuff down. You can't do the bobble first and then the leaves because of the way the leaves are. So they're only going to be toe up. German short row heel, which is my favourite at the minute. I need to try the shadow wrap heel, don't I? Because people always rave about that one. But at the minute I'm into the German short row heel and I don't know what to do, so I'll just keep doing that one. So yeah, toe up, German short row heel, and then this little knitted flower just on one side. The other side is totally plain. You can still see my seam there. Totally plain on the other side, so you just have that on the outside of your leg. Yeah, and I've done the first half. It's a bit bright today. I've done the first half of the heel. Ooh, on the second one. That's it, that's as far as I've got, but it won't take me long to do the rest. So they'll be finished next time you see me. Yeah, I wanted to call them posy socks, but that's taken loads. And then so then I need to think of something else. So I'm going to think of, I was looking at Latin names for daisies and things like that. But yeah, I gave up because I was a bit too busy with something else. So I need to look into a name for them. But there we go. That is my new little Here Comes the Sun, we'll call it for now. Here Comes the Sun campaign socks. So they won't be long before they're done. So they're on 2.25mm. I'm magic looping them because I find that easier for toe up. That's all there is to tell you really, isn't there? Yeah. So I'm hoping to get them into testing in a week or so. Once the kids are back in school and I can actually concentrate on writing out patterns. That would be helpful. I've noticed that the light keeps getting light and dark and light and dark, so I'm sorry if it's doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. I think it's with me leaning. Yeah, it's when I lean backwards and forwards. Sorry. I'll try and sit still. Okay, the next thing I've been working on is my chunky Dahlia top. I've done quite a bit on this actually. I'm surprised. I didn't think I would get as much as it done as I have this week because I've been busy with something. So, chunky Dahlia, which we're definitely getting the weather for chunky Dahlias, aren't we? I always do this. So this is where I've got to. So you can see where the project keeper is, and that I've done that much since. That's stuck. So I've done like a good, what's that? About 4 inches maybe on there. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I don't know when I'm going to get to wear it because it's coming out really sunny at the minute. But you never know, I live in England. It'll be torrential rain and freezing cold next week probably. So I am now at the point where I start ribbing The rib is like 8 centimetres long, which is about 3 inches, around about there. So yeah, I've got that ribbon to do, and then it's just onto the sleeves. So I think this is my 4th ball of, I'm using West Yorkshire Spinners Retreat. This is the Tranquil colourway. And like I said last time, it smells like a factory. It does not smell good. Whenever I pull it out of the bag, I'm like, ooh. So I can't wait to like get it in the wool wash and soak it. Because it smells awful. It just it does not smell nice at all. But yeah, everything is going fine. It's basic. It's just stock and stitch now, isn't it? Round and round and round. And I'll be doing the rib. I think it's 1 by 1 rib. I'm not 100% actually. It will be, won't it? Rib edge, 1 by 1. Yeah, knit 1, purl 1 to the end. So that, I know it's 3 inches. So 8 centimetres, 3 inches. And then it's the sleeves to do. And the sleeves are just plain stock and stitch as well. There's nothing else patterny to do. But it's a good mindless knit for a Friday night. Oh.
Can I show them?
Of course you can.
Mr. Hops.
Apparently this is Mr. Hops. that Rowan's just drawn. He's very good. I hope you enjoy the cameos today. There's not much else I could do. So yes, West Yorkshire Spinners Retreat in Tranquil. This is this bit was really fun. Really enjoyed it. And now this is just easy, round and round and round and round we go until we get long enough. Yeah, it's I'm enjoying it. It's good, and it's one of them where I'm like, I really want to see it done, and I know it fits me and it's fine, and yeah, it's good. Happy with that. I don't think it'll be finished next time I see you. But it shouldn't be too long, I don't think. And that is one of my make 9s. So, and then the other make 9 that I did start on was the Potter and Bloom sock, if you remember, because it was ages ago. That I finished one of. That was the socks that were different colours and the slip stitches in the like white. And I'd used my Advent swap yarn to do the different colours. I've only done one. I haven't cast on the other one. I just haven't had a chance. So I am planning on that next. So I'm going to finish that. That's one of my make 9s. Finish my Potter and Bloom sock. That's 2 make 9s then ticked off. And then I'm going to see which one's next. I'm not 100% which one's next. Oh, careful. Oh. So what are you doing?
One.
Stop talking silly. What are you doing? It's only me. What are you doing? Are you going out to play? Yeah? Go on then. Say bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Right. Don't go far. Make sure I can see you. Okay. So my last whip that I've been working on has been a bit of a nightmare. So I told you last episode that I was going to be working on my moonglade top, which is a new design based around the moonglade dress. I'll put a picture up. It's the adult version, which people have requested. So I have been designing that. It's been quite tricky. I think I told you that the neck wouldn't work. I couldn't get the lateral braid. In the dress there's a lateral braid going across. Oh, he's back again. Sorry, disturbed again. I don't know where I am now. So, moonglade top. The top of the dress has like a lateral braid going around, then like an eyelet round, and then a lateral braid again. But I realised when I was doing the top that just flips when it's bigger. I'm going to fix that in the moonglade top. I'm going to add a different option. So I was having a lot of trouble with the neck and stopping it from flipping around. I did end up just giving in. I tried lateral braid. I tried it numerous different ways. I tried numerous different needles. I tried increasing afterwards. I tried increasing during, all sorts, and it was just constantly flipping. Then I tried an I-cord bind off. So I knitted so much of the yoke, then did an I-cord bind off. I don't like an I-cord cast on. He's coming in again. Then I tried I-cord bind off. I think I've just said that. I've been interrupted again. I'm so sorry. I don't like an I-cord cast on. I feel like it doesn't sit properly. It doesn't look good. It has like that weird bit behind it. I don't like it. So I wanted to do an I-cord cast off. So I did a provisional cast on. I think that's the last time I was telling you. I was saying to you, it's going to be a provisional cast on. I know most of you don't like that, but nothing I can do. But when I did the I-cord bind off, it was still flipping. It just, I think because the neck is quite wide. So I've given and gone for a ribbed neck, but just a small ribbed neck. And that does stay put after blocking. Yeah. So I then, once I'd figured that out, I'd knitted the yoke at this point 4 or 5 times, I think. I've actually lost count. I'm saying that this next one that I'm doing is 7th, but I don't even know anymore because I've knitted the neckband so many times as well. I've knitted this yoke at least 4 times. This is the biggest that I've got it. And then there was a problem. So I'm going to show you first. Stop wittering on. So this is the top. So you can see that it's a wide neck and these are the sleeves. And then, so what happens is you have the wide neckband, and then the sleeves are brilliant lacy. The body is just stock and stitch, but then at the bottom it's got this lace pattern going around the bottom. There is sketches of it up here. So I thought this was it, and I was knitting away happy as Larry. And I'd done, how many decreases had I done? 3? 3 waist decreases to go down into the waist. It's going to come back out again, obviously, for the hips. I've done 3 out of 5 waist decreases for the size that I'm doing. And I decided that I was going to do a podcast. So I thought I'm going to block the neck because the neck still rolls a little bit, but I know it stays put in blocking. So I thought I'm going to block the neck so that I can show you guys. And I laid it out to pin it, and then I noticed that there was a big change in the yarn. So basically, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can see it mostly there. So, well, you can see it quite well there actually. On the photos I've been taking, you can't really see it, but you can see it quite well there. You can see there's a big difference in that top section and the rest of it. So, oh, I couldn't believe it. What had basically happened was I had been knitting with this yarn all the time, and I'd kept pulling it out and knitting it again, pulling it out and knitting it again. And it was getting quite tatty, as it does when you're constantly ripping it out. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to use a different ball that I've got. This yarn, if you are a regular viewer and you've watched this podcast for a while, I had a lariat top. It was just a personal project, and this yarn was bought for the lariat top. The lariat top was an absolute disaster, and when I'd finally finished it after hating every minute of it, it was awful. I'm going to put a picture up of the lariat top. So the lariat, I didn't actually alternate my skeins or anything. because this is the yarn collective, I didn't really think about alternating skeins. I just went for it and it turned out fine. But this now has been pulled out from the lariat. The lariat was knit flat, so it's all in different parts, and I've got 5 separate balls of yarn. Actually I haven't, I've got 7 because there's 2 more here. So 7 separate balls of yarn I've got. I don't know which skein they're from, so I can't really alternate, because I could just be alternating the same skein. So I thought, well, the lariat was fine. It obviously doesn't need to be alternated. So I just cracked on. So this one had been used so many times that I decided to use a different one that I had. So I picked up the different ball and cast on with that. And obviously this was going to be a lot more neater, because it had no kinks in it. I'd soaked it and dried it out so that all the kinks were out. So this was nice and straight. So then when I swapped to this, I did notice a difference, but I just thought it was because this was so like kinky. It was really kinked, being used that much. So I thought that was why it was different, and then I just cracked on knitting. It was only when I laid it flat that I saw the huge difference. Like, it really stands out. I'd put this up on Instagram crying because, see, you can't see it when I hold it up like that, but you can see it. You can see it, can't you? I can see it. I think you can see it a lot better on this camera than you can on my phone. My phone just makes it blend. And I'd put on the Instagram and I'd said, oh, I'm absolutely gutted. Like, I can't believe this has happened. I've got to knit this again. Is there any advice? And a lot of people were saying it's fine. It just looks like a fade, or I can't even see it, but I think it was just the way the camera is, because you can see it. And I don't want a fade. So it does have to come out. However, there is a lovely turn of events, because as you know, I've had a lot of yarn from Skein and the Stitch, Jess, and she does have some gorgeous yarn, and we're collaborating a lot this year. I've got some gloves / mittens coming out that are in Skein and the Stitch yarn. I'm working on her advent pattern. I'm also going to be doing another thing for her later in the year that's a bit of a secret at the minute. And I've also got a pair of socks in her yarn. So I've already got 4 projects. Hi. You're sitting there, are you? If it's not the children, it's Lene. Can you even see him there? Don't grab my chair, because you'll fall off. So, yeah, I've got a lot of projects with Jess. I promise I'm not in, I don't have shares in her business or anything. I just really love her yarn, and we really like working together. She messaged me and asked me if I was tied to this yarn, like if I was tied to the company, if it was like they'd sent me the yarn. And I said, no, it's just stash yarn. She said that she wants to send me 3 skeins of her yarn to start knitting the top in, to kind of give it a new lease of life, because I was getting really fed up. And her quote, what she said to me was, friends don't let friends knit with crappy yarn, which I thought was lovely. This isn't crappy yarn, it's really nice yarn. It's just, obviously, the colours are not, it's just not gonna happen for this top. I can't have that in a design. If it was my personal top, I'd just be like, whatever, and crack on, but it's not. And I can't have that. So I will use this again. You'll see it again one day. Maybe it'll be something that I actually get to wear. But yeah, I might end up, I'm gonna alternate the balls and see what happens then. But if I hit like big colour blocks and it doesn't suit, are you coming on, Minnie? And it doesn't suit the top that I end up making with it, then I'll over dye it. but I can't do that for a design. So this is the yarn that Jess has sent me. I haven't balled it up yet, caked it up yet, because I wanted to show you it in the Skein. But this is her blush colourway. I've got 3. And that's what I'm going to be casting it on with. So Jess has sent me that. So obviously now it's a collaboration with Skein and the Stitch, which I'm over the moon with. So that's 5 collaborations we'll have this year. I promise I don't have shares. She also sent me this, which says "For New Beginnings, love Jess," and it matches the yarn really well. So that's what I'm going to be using as my start of round marker, of course. And so this is, I don't know if I said, this is her classic sock base, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. It's 100 grams, which is 400 meters, 227 yards. And this is her blush colourway. She also does this colour in different bases. I know she's got it in DK. I'm not sure what else, you'd have to check her website, but it's beautiful. It's such a lovely pink, and I think it's going to be perfect for what I need, much better than the pinky orange that I had. That always shows up orange on everything. It's kind of a, I suppose it is orange. I've completely fell out with it now anyway. So that's it. That's all I have to show you. That is my acquisition as well. I've got nothing else because I'm trying to wait until the yarn festival at the end of May. Remember, if you want to come with us to the yarn festival, make sure you join the Discord, which I'll link below, and come along and come around the yarn festival with us, so you're not on your own. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check back on some of the other videos. There is a group of us all meeting up who don't have anybody to go with to a yarn festival, so we've all got somebody to go with. And we're actually meeting at Skein and the Stitch's booth. Yes, and I'm hoping to be wearing my moonglade top, but we'll see. Because it's not been going too well really, has it? I've had such a nightmare with it, and I really want to get it in testing by the beginning of May. So I'm like, I've got 10 days. I've got 10 days. Well, I've got 9 days now. It's 21st today, isn't it? It's 21st today, which is my granddad's birthday, who, I mean, he's gone now, but he would have been 100 and something now. I can't remember. And it's also the Queen's birthday, the Queen of England's birthday. My granddad shared his birthday with the Queen. So there you go. Bit of trivia for you. I don't think I've got any live stuff really, because it's just been so school holidays here. That's all. We went to the cinema to see Sonic 2. And I ended up missing most of it, even though I wasn't even bothered about seeing it. I missed most of it because Rowan must have needed the toilet about 5 times, I think, and then wanted a drink. And the people on the end of the aisle must have hated us, absolutely hated us. The next time I book the cinema with Rowan, I'm making sure we have an end of the aisle seat so that I'm not having to go past people all the time, because it was so embarrassing. And at one point, I went down, he wanted to go to the toilet, I went down to the toilet with him. He went to the toilet, and then I said, right, just go and wash your hands. I'm just going to go to the toilet myself. I'll be out in a minute. And when I come out, he wasn't there. And I was like, where's he gone? And I went out into the corridor, which is, it's a big cinema. So I went out into the corridor and I was looking and I couldn't see him. And I went back into the toilet and I was shouting him and I couldn't see him. And I was like, oh my God. So then I went back to our seats to see if he was there. We were quite high up. I fell up the stairs. And in my rush to get up the stairs, and he's just sitting there in the seat. I could have absolutely killed him. Could have absolutely killed him. So yeah, it was quite a stressful cinema trip. So yeah, we saw Sonic 2, and we haven't really done much else. We've had a lot of like things on, like appointment wise and stuff, so we haven't really been able to go anywhere. I'm sorry if you can hear that door again, because he's coming in again. But yeah, so not much else has happened that I can really tell you about. So I'm gonna go, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. I hope you're having a nice sunshiny time. It's really sunny here at the minute. It's not warm, it's like, it's just okay, but it's very sunny and nice, so I hope it's the same for you. I do know that I have a friend, Nicole, in Virginia, and I saw that it was snowing there, which is just, what's going on? I'll see you in a couple of weeks.